Hello everyone and welcome back to another FPL video on my channel. This is my updated draft. I've made a few changes from the team that I put out earlier. I was a bit unhappy with some positions, so in this video I'm going to walk you through all the changes I've made up to this point. Be sure to give the video a like if you find anything helpful and subscribe to my channel if you haven't subscribed already. I had Neto and Fabianski as my two goalkeepers. I've made a goalkeeper change. I've transferred out Neto and I've brought in Arsenal's David Raya as my first goalkeeper at 5.5 million. Of course, Arsenal don't have an easy run of fixtures. They start against Wolves, but then they've got Aston Villa, Brighton, Spurs and Man City in the next 4 fixtures. But then they will have Leicester, Southampton and Bournemouth after that. So I think I just need to cover up the Arsenal spot for now at only 5.5 million. I've made changes in defense. I've downgraded Ben White to Ben Mee, who plays at home against Crystal Palace in Game Week 1 at only 4.5 million. I'd really want to have Rico Henry from Brentford, but he was out last season with an injury. I'm not sure if he's travelled with the team for pre-season fixtures. I'll be on the lookout for that, but Ben Mee is the one that I currently have in my team to cover up a Brentford spot. I've also brought in Dan Burn from Newcastle, who starts at home against Southampton in Game Week 1. There's a lot of talks of him not being a starter this season, but he did start 32 matches last season, managing 8 clean sheets, 2 goals and 2 assists. I think I'm quite confident he could start this time around, so he's the one that I'm really happy to own. With Nick Pope returning to the Newcastle side as well, I think it increases the chances of them keeping clean sheets, so Dan Burn is also someone that I've brought in this draft. I've kept Guardiola, who starts away against Chelsea, in my team. I think I'm quite confident I will have Guardiola at the start of Game Week 1. He starts with a tough fixture, but I think that second fixture against Ipswich in Game Week 2 is a fixture that most people will try to target and maybe try bring in Manchester City assets. So if I do that now, I think that will be easy for me going forward. I've also made changes in midfield. I've included Leicester's Mavididi, who starts at home against Spurs in Game Week 1 at only 5.5 million. If Leicester are going to do well in the Premier League, I think the likes of Mavididi are the ones that they're going to rely on. He did have a decent season in the Championship, scoring 12 goals and having 6 assists. With his explosiveness, I think there's some returns that I could get, so he's the one that I've included from the Leicester side. I've kept Brennan Johnson, who starts away against Leicester. I think that's a very good fixture for Spurs, and I would really want to have a Spurs asset, and Brennan Johnson is the one that I've opted for this time around. I've kept Salah in the team, who starts away against Ipswich. He's in contention for captaincy in Game Week 1, so I will happily own Salah come deadline for Game Week 1. I've included Mohamed Kudus in the team, who started 27 matches last season, managing 8 goals and 9 assists that amounted to 137 points. West Ham start at home against Aston Villa, but then they play Crystal Palace. They've got Manchester City, Fulham, Chelsea, Brentford, Ipswich, and then they play Spurs. I'm happy to own Kudus at only 6.5 million. I think I had to make a few sacrifices in midfield so that I can have a front line of Isak, who starts at home against Southampton, Erling Haaland, who starts away against Chelsea, and Rodrigo Muniz, who starts away against Manchester United. So Fabianski on my bench together with Robinson, Tuanzebe and Leon Bailey. This is where my team currently stands. I think the problem with not starting with Haaland is that if he gets any returns against Chelsea in Game Week 1, then you'll be scrambling around in Game Week 2 when he plays at home against Ipswich to bring him in your teams. And I think Game Week 2 is not really a game week that you really want to be making changes. You want to stick with the team that you started with to give yourself a chance to collect more information to make transfers in maybe Game Week 3. So I have Haaland in my team at the moment. I think I will own him come the deadline for Game Week 1. It will be easy for me to transfer out Haaland and then downgrade him to other players that I may want from like Game Week 3 upwards, rather than me trying to bring Haaland back into my team if I don't own him from Game Week 1. So that's the option that I'm really going to go for come the deadline for Game Week 1. There's a few changes that I could make in my team, but I think Isak, Haaland and Rodrigo Muniz are the players that I'm going to start with as my forwards heading into Game Week 1, just to be on the safer side. I think it's easier to transfer Haaland out than to bring him into your teams, otherwise you need to be taking hits and stuff like that. So that's something that I don't really want to do early this season. I want to minimize the hits that I take and just maybe make calculated transfers. So this is the team that I currently have as my new draft heading into Game Week 1. Let me know in the comments what you think about the team, what changes you could make in your side, and what players you think are missing out. But this is where I stand in terms of my draft heading into Game Week 1. If you made it this far, don't forget to give the video a like and of course subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.